There is no democracy in the world. I lived in America 20 years. There was no democracy. Bill Clinton was not elected democratically. Obama was not elected democratically. They were raising funds, money. Donald Trump, was not elected democratically.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to our channel. Now, many times as Africans, the Western nations have always come to us and told us that we should respect democracy and that we should abide by the democratic ideals. And I've asked myself this question many times, and I've even done a video about it, that who came up with this democracy and whose ideal is it that African nations must just respect? You know, as Africa, we know ourselves to have always been organized in kingdoms and that we had our political and governance structure that was working for us. But the Western people, the Europeans came here, divided Africa into different states and decided that all states that they divided must have a representative that reports back to them all the time. So the question is, does democracy exist? And can it serve African interest? To just give us a little glimpse of what democracy is and whether it exists, is a renowned Egyptian feminist and author, one Nawal El-Saadawi. Let's listen to this clip, then come back and share some thoughts together. Let's watch.
There are two views. Some people say the revolutions in the Arab world was made by America. Some people. America was able to make millions to go out in the streets against Mubarak. This is ridiculous, because you were in Tahrir Square. You cannot move millions of people. So many people think it was an American, mu'amra, something like that. No, it was a revolution, but it was aborted. In fact, it was aborted by the US and Israel and the government itself, the local government, because they were afraid of the people, so they have to abort it. And they aborted it, but not completely. Not completely. There is still remnants of the revolutionary power in Egypt and on all the Arab countries. And it will continue. You cannot stop people. You cannot stop people at all.
At what point do you think it was aborted? When was it aborted?
When? Well, they tried to bring Morsi. You know, you were there. They say Morsi or the Muslim Brothers were elected democratically in Egypt. This is an illusion.
Why?
Because there is no democracy in the world. I lived in America 20 years. There was no democracy. Bill Clinton was not elected democratically. Obama was not elected democratically. They were raising funds, money. Donald Trump, was not elected democratically. Come to Egypt. You think that Morsi was elected democratically? It was a lot of money in Tahrir Square. I saw Hillary Clinton in Tahrir Square. Give money, dollars. They wanted the Muslim Brothers to be in power because they were afraid that this revolution will bring a very revolutionary government. So they said, no, the Muslim Brothers is better. Let's support the Muslim Brothers. You know, colonial powers and imperialist powers, they prefer a religious Islamic revolution rather than a socialist revolution. There is no democratic president in the world. I say truly. Who is the democratic president? Trump? Obama? Who is here in Britain? We should be clear. Democracy is an illusion. We cannot have democracy in a capitalist, imperialist, patriarchal system, religious system.
Why not?
Because they want money. Because if you remove religion and capitalism and imperialism, then you will have socialism, and then no government will be there, you know. They are afraid of the real power of the people. You cannot have democracy, because what is democracy? Democracy is real freedom.
But if you believe that none of these democracies are democracies, why do the people live with it?
Because people are oppressed. People are not organized. We are prevented from organizing. That's the key point. When I was an individual writer, even if I become famous and star, they allow me, but not to organize. The minute I started to organize women and men, I became a danger. You are not organized here. The people here are not organized.
But nobody is stopping organization here.
But they stop
Nobody,
it.
no government is going to come and lock you up or kill you in Britain, are they?
But in a subtle way. I know the American way. You cannot organize in the U.S.
Why? What will happen?
Because the government will stand in front of you. You cannot end capitalism. You can't have a socialist revolution in the U.S. You can't.
Maybe there aren't
They kill
enough
you.
people.
They kill you.
But maybe there aren't enough people who want a socialist revolution. In
The
the
people
United
doesn't
States.
want socialist
Do
revolution.
you think there are many socialists in America?
Many people, the majority of people, all my friends there are socialists. They are against Trump. You know how millions of people were marching against Trump and they couldn't do anything? Why? Why people were marching in millions against Trump and against the war in Iraq and even against the war in Palestine, everywhere, but they didn't stop anything. Why?
So what is your message to all these people? How should they try to change the world?
Two things: to organize and to re-educate people, to make people aware. Because people are brainwashed by the media, by education. People don't know. When I was a professor in America, my students who were graduates, because I was teaching graduates, they didn't know anything about politics. They are not educated. They have technology, but not educated. So you need to make people aware, to re-educate or to unteach them, to eradicate the very traditional bad education. That's creativity. And that's what I was teaching. Creativity to me and dissident creativity was to unteach people so that they will start to know their rights, men and women, and to organize.
Do you think you have to pick your battles?
To what?
Choose the battles. So you've talked about the patriarchy, you've talked about capitalism, you talk about religious oppression. Can you fight all these three fronts at the same time, or do you need to pick them off one by one?
You need to be aware, number one, because splitting makes us ignorant. Education is based on splitting reality. You know, in compartments, they divide our head. You put here religion, and here gender, and here medicine, and here history. That's why we end by knowing nothing. But creativity is to unite, to link. And now they encourage this social media, which really fragment people. They want to fragment people, not to...
Why do you think social media fragments people?
Because they are alone, they are prisoned. They don't meet.
Doesn't it help people organize?
Sometimes the Facebook and the Twitter and all this help to collect people, but not to make them aware. You know, it's a very difficult job. It's difficult and needs commitment that people should not be just oriented to the benefit of the family, of the biological family. We are trained to be our self-interest, our children, the family. That's why they preach the family, the moral code of the family. The family. When you go to the States, you hear the president speaking about the family. The family. The family is worshipped. The family, and you have. So everybody is working hard and fighting to feed the children on the self-oriented family. but not to open for the society and to have a socialistic organization. No, this is not happening. We can talk about it, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Are you very pessimistic then?
No, I am not. I'm not. Who said? I don't look.
Well, because you say it's not going to happen and it can't happen.
No, it can happen, but we need awareness, and we need to struggle together.
Do you believe you will see it?
I am very optimistic, because hope is power. I don't believe in pessimism at all. When I was in prison, I was very much hopeful. And in the worst situation, I never lose hope. So we need to continue the struggle globally, global and local, because we cannot fight alone in Egypt. It is a universal battle. Universal battle. But it has to start locally. And then to link. I am very fond of the word link, connection.
Is this a perpetual struggle?
Is it what?
A perpetual struggle.
Yes.
So, in that case, will it ever actually happen? Will the world you want to see
It will come.
ever change? When?
It will come. Well, I don't care about when. If you look to history, you cannot say when. History is history, and life is changing. And we are now much better than 100 years ago. Look at history, and then you will be hopeful. You will be very optimistic if you look to history. Yeah.
Now you're able to see how El-Saadawi can really put these things into a way that they seem to be simple. But Africa is bedeviled by a lot of issues that I think we as a people must come up and really solve these problems, because I think we need to find a structure that works for us. The democracy that has been used by Western nations to control the African continent cannot be designed or cannot be looked at as the one-size-fits-all strategy that can help address leadership issues within the continent. It is just a strategy that is used to help Western nations have control of the continent. However, it does not serve to really address the issues affecting the common African person. And my research led me to a little issues that I want to highlight for you here. The assertion that democracy is not ideal for Africa's governance structure is a controversial and a nuanced topic. I agree with that. While democracy has been widely advocated as a universal solution for governance, its effectiveness in Africa can be challenged by several factors. Firstly, many African countries face significant socio-economic and infrastructural challenges that can hinder the effectiveness of implementing democratic systems. High levels of poverty, lack of education, and limited access to information can affect the electorate's ability to make informed decisions and engage in meaningful democratic processes. In such contexts, democratic institutions may struggle to function effectively, potentially leading to unstable governance. This is very true. They call democracy as the governance system that is for the people and by the people. And I think this is something that can really be looked into in that aspect. So if everybody is not given equal chance to really come out and address these issues, it will really be difficult for us to know whether everybody participated and whether this governance system addresses issues raised by everybody. Secondly, tribalism and ethnic divisions are prominent in many African nations. These deep-seated divisions can lead to political fragmentation, where democratic elections often exacerbate rather than mitigate ethnic conflicts. In some cases, political leaders may exploit these divisions to consolidate power, undermining the democratic processes and leading to corruption and instability. Additionally, the legacy of colonialism and the subsequent struggle for state building have left many African countries with weak institutions and governance frameworks. In such environments, democratic practices may not be fully established or effectively supported. Corruption and inadequate state capacity can undermine democratic institutions, leading to ineffective governance, and political instability. Furthermore, the pace of democratic transition can sometimes result in conflicts with the immediate needs for economic development and social stability. Rapid democratization without adequate preparatory measures can lead to governance failures and societal unrest. In summary, while democracy is a valued ideal, its effectiveness in Africa can be challenged by socio-economic issues, ethnic divisions, historical legacies, and institutional weaknesses. Tailoring governance structures to address these unique challenges rather than strictly adhering to a one-size-fits-all democratic model may be more effective for addressing the continent's diverse needs and fostering stable governance. So that is what we can find in that area. Tell me down in the comment section what you think about this. And if you're watching us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and also share. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless you. Goodbye.